Oh, welcome back to the channel, guys. Hey, where I left off on the last video, I set the timing up so I could pull the injection pump off. I threw my flywheel back on because I just had to double check because that line was so hard to see on it. But now I'm just about to pull the injection pump off, so I'm going to kind of get this all loosened off here now. I'm going to see if I can get the pump off with all the lines intact here. Because if I don't have to break the seal, because there's nothing wrong with the pump, but I may send the injectors off to get tested anyway. But like I said, they did run fine. But it doesn't hurt to probably get them cleaned if nothing else. But yeah, if it works, if I can get this all off in one shot here, then now I don't have to worry about putting new washers on there, because the pump doesn't leak. It started good and everything, so that's the worst case scenario if I got to put new liners in here. Like, I'm not sure. I won't know until I get the liners out whether they're salvageable to just put new O-rings or not. I'm hoping that's the case, but otherwise, I have no idea how many hours are on this thing, and some of the stuff I'm seeing where the inside of the head looks okay, like on the water jacket side, like it doesn't appear to be totally trashed or anything like that. Well, yeah, of course I went and kind of marked where my flywheel is, because the timing mark is actually on the other part of the bell housing, but I even marked where my pump has got to sit on here, so at least that way I can put it back in exactly the same spot. Yeah, I see somebody's been in here with I already took the lift pump off and the fuel filter assembly off, and took the heater hose off. I had to cut it off anyway, so that I was going to replace anyhow, so it didn't matter. But I'm going to probably have to cut a new gasket to fit on here, because there's no way I'm going to can't get a hose in between here, so this cap's going to have to come off the oil cooler when I put it back together. But I'm probably going to do a couple of checks before I actually pull the liners on this thing. Well, plus I got to make a tool, which I don't have a tool for this, because I've never done a big diesel. I've done lots of small block Chevy V8s. I know those things inside and out, but this here is all kind of new to me. I never actually had to rebuild one of these big diesels like this. I just always looked after them, and I've never really had too much trouble with them. I know with the big trucks in the past, yeah, I've had one engine rebuilt under warranty, and that's about it. And it was mostly because it was leaking all over the place. So I'm kind of learning with this here one, so if I'm doing something wrong, you know, it is what it is. I'm just going to try my best. Can't be any worse than dealing with anything else. Okay, now if I can only get my nut off of here. That's always kind of handy. Here, I got the nut out. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping I don't have to disassemble these lines off the pump itself. But we'll see what happens here in a second or three. Oh, come on. There we go. Well, let's see what happens here. I'm guessing. Okay. Why you got stuck in there? Really? I don't believe it. Well, that kind of sucks. So close. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, easy. There we go. So just an O-ring on there. Okay, now which side is the V on here? Part number. Okay, well, I guess I'm just going to go and set her off to the side and manage to wiggle it out of there. Okay, so that V is on the bottom part on there. Okay, get some of this dirt out of there. I don't need that getting in. I better find myself a little plug here. Cap that hole for now. I guess I need a bit more of an assortment of plugs. Yeah. That's good. I'll just use that temporarily just to blow that dirt away from there. Okay, now the next step here, try to get these injectors out because unfortunately I can't get at some of the head bolts here because the injector lines are in the way. So myself a ratchet and a saw could be easier. Let's see if this is going to work. Yeah, that works. Spacers. These should all be the same. So that's yeah, I'm gonna have to do a whole bunch of cleaning anyway. Apparently one of these clips are broke off of here. I'll have to get another injector clip there, otherwise just the way it's snapped off, but I'll figure that out later. Okay, so I'll put these off to the side. There we go. That's always handy. Gotta just caps, not the proper caps for them, but to still keep the junk out of the injectors. And one more here. I'll just have to take a little bit of time here and plug up my other part of the injector lines. I don't know if I got any plugs for that, but I guess I got some. I'll worry about that after anyway. Okay, let's see. Gonna need a little, oh, there's another broken clip here too. So we've got a couple of them broken. May have to get a couple of injector hold downs. Yeah, let's see, blow some of this dirt out of here. Yeah, I gotta clean it all out anyway, so Got the one loosened off. Smaller one for that one. Said and done here. Oh, here we go. Well, surprisingly, the injectors are actually coming out relatively easy. I guess I shouldn't speak too soon on that. Okay. Good deal. Well, okay, I guess I better get a box to put them in. And find a marker here, I guess. Interesting. Okay. So I'll put that in the front. Because I'm not sure if they're all the same position or not. Yeah, there's a, let's see if you can see that in there. But that's all these injectors are, just pencil injectors. And just the return line slips onto there. But otherwise the Teflon washer there and one on here. And that's it. You know, just have to lightly brush off the end here. Clean them up and, I don't know, find out how much it costs to get them tested anyway. It appears that they're all the same, so, well, get them ready here anyway. the washer anyway. Well, must have had a little bit of seepage, a little bit of rust on that hole. Oh, come on. Yeah, I don't know if I can reuse these Teflon washers, but there. Oh. Well, apparently somebody, this one's got 2 washers on it. Somebody apparently forgot to take a washer off. So it wasn't seated in the hole properly. So you can see a little bit of more carbon deposits on that one. So somebody screwed up. Because if you look at the one on the top, that Teflon ring on there, but there's carbon buildup way up to here. So this thing was sitting up in the hole, so that hole's going to have to be cleaned really good. So apparently somebody screwed up. Maybe this thing's got new injectors already, I don't know. Okay. Well, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, so now let's get the rocker cover off here. Bolts aren't exactly tight, but it isn't leaking though. Yeah, let's see what we got under. Oh, what the heck? Wow, that's impressive. Relatively clean under here. And the gasket was glued onto the rocker cover, so somebody was thinking ahead. I may actually be able to reuse this if it leaks. Worst case scenario, I'll just put a little bit of gasket maker, reuse this here gasket because they're not exactly cheap. Set that off to the side there. Okay, if you're walling in here, I'm just kind of curious. I don't know if you guys can actually see anything there. Here, I'll tilt you guys up a little bit. Get you guys tilted up a little bit so you guys got a little bit better view. Okay, so yeah, I always want to, because both intake and exhaust are supposed to be 18 thousandths. So, just whichever ones are loose right now, because yeah, definitely know I'm on number 1 top dead center, but okay. The exhaust on number 1's a little bit tight. Yeah. Okay, let's try 20 thousandths on the intake here. No. 22. No. 23. Nope. We have a 24 thousandths. I think 25 thousandths. That's a lot from 18. That one's loose. Well, I'm just kind of doing that. I just want to see if how bad the valve seats are. Okay, I'll just go with 19 on this here one. Nope. That one's okay. Try that one to 18. Nope. 16. Yeah, that one's at 16. And that one's about 17. See, it's funny because that one intake. See, I almost did, because according to the manual, it's supposed to be kind of hot, or just a cold spec. But yeah, the intake seemed to be, well, except for this here one, but this one is extremely loose. This one's loose. But yeah, it says in the manual you don't have to do a hot valve set, you just do them cold, so. Okay, here's my 6 or 18. That gives me an idea what it's doing anyway. Nope, that one's a little tight. Try 17. Yep, 17 on there. Okay, now I've got to rotate the engine over. This way. At least I put a mark on the casting here, so. Ooh, that exhaust is bang on. And that intake is bang on. That one's a little on the tight side. Yeah, that one's down to 16. That one's actually right on. Oh boy. I'll go right up to the top here. The biggest one was short of stacking them anyway, but it still gives me an idea. But yeah, probably around 25. It's still sloppy at 24, because that's the biggest feeler gauge I got without stacking them. Okay, I'm going to get back down to my other sizes here. Okay, that one's 18. Oh, this one's a little tighter for the exhaust. Thoughts? Yeah, that one's only about 5 thousandths on that exhaust. So that one's tightening up, so that's kind of a little concerning. Hey, well, I guess now it's time to Pull these rocker arms off. I'm gonna move my rocker cover out of the way here and set it off to the side in a different spot. Well then, I guess I need a different size socket for that one. Nope, wrong again. Okay, let's see how much trouble these are to get off. Not bad. Yeah, I guess I could have backed off all the set screws. I'll probably back them off before I put it all back together. Now, hopefully these things all kind of stay together. Good. Set it on the tray here. Well, I don't know if I need to keep all these push rods in order, but might as well. Well, at least on the upside. Well, come on, let go. The oil just sticking to the push rods here. Well, that's a bonus. No bent push rods. Alrighty, well, I guess I'm just gonna shut you guys off here for a bit. I'm gonna break all these head bolts loose and take them off. I don't think you need to see me just taking all the bolts off, so I'll go around and take all the head bolts out and then bring you back when I'm ready to pull it off. Okay, got all set up there to pull the head off here. Got all the head bolts out already, but so I'm just going to pull the head off and set it up on the bench here. I just got to pull the engine out of the way here so I can get up on the bench. Get over there. Yeah, just set it down for now. I'll flip it over on its back afterwards. Get this thing out of the way here. I don't know if you guys can see much on here. Oh, there we go. Get this thing laid on its back so I can have a little closer look at that end. Well, let's see what. Okay, that's the front of the engine. Here's my injector nozzle hole. And this is the one that had 2 washers on it. Yeah, doesn't seem like it affected it at all. Like it seems like all the valves seem to be pretty close to all the same height. I'll clean it up, and it looks like it's got a nice machine surface. I'm thinking this here engine's been dealt with. Here, we'll go have a look-see at the... I'll take you off of here for now. Go and take a look at the block itself. Minor scratches, nothing really drastic. Nice crosshatch in there. But otherwise, yeah, I guess I'll just leave it here for the time being here, and then I'll bring you back if I got anything new on here at the time. I'll see you guys in a bit. I want to do a little bit of cleaning, pull this gasket off, and just kind of do a little bit of inspecting now. I can take a closer look at this head and stuff like that. This head's obviously, I don't know if you can see it. This here head's been surfaced because it's all nice and shiny pretty much. And a nice little swirl marks from machining. So that's appears to good. The one injector that was had a double washer on. Doesn't appear it did any damage to it. I just got the way the tips go in, I just got to clean up some of that carbon out of there. And that should be fine. The valves all seem to be sitting about the same height. I'll pull them all out to clean them, obviously, when I go to clean up the head here. But the one thing I did find, like, I got to check, before I go any farther, I got to check all the cylinder protrusion on here. But there are, like, to look at the cylinder walls, you can, I don't know if you can see it, you've got the nice crosshatch, but a little bit of scratching, little scoring on the side there. Like, I can run my fingernail across it and just barely can feel it with the tip of your fingernail. And when I got the pistons out, I could probably get away just by giving it a little bit of a hone job, maybe throw another set of rings in. But there's no other ridges, and every cylinder bore has lots of crosshatches. There's not a whole bunch of hours on this thing, I don't think, but for whatever reason, I think it's from carbon. And for that's the reason why it's scratching up the cylinders a little bit. Because you can see it's been slobbering a lot, so I'll probably take the injectors in and get them tested and cleaned and whatnot and calibrated. But that could be even a lot from just slobbering itself. Yeah, see, there's lots of like carbon sitting on top. So if you got some carbon get caught up between the rings and whatnot. But once I get but I got to check the protrusion, and I want to put a dial indicator on the piston tops, make sure, see that they're all coming to the right same height as I crank it over, and take it from there. It'll be a whole lot of cleanup now for the next number of days, but do a bunch of cleaning, then I'll get the pistons out of it eventually in the next few days here. But other than that, yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to probably strip it right down, give it a good thorough cleaning. But for the most part, even looking at the top end of the engine, it's not all sludged up like I expected it to be. Like, it's actually fairly clean. I do got one head bolt though that I got to replace. This one right here, but this here washer's got a crack in it. I don't know if you can see it here. Oh, there it is. There, it's got a big crack in that washer. So obviously it let water down in this here one bolt hole and rusted the heck out of that one bolt. So I got to get one new head bolt and definitely a washer for that. And I'll check all the other washers, make sure there's no other cracks. Well, after I clean everything up, and kind of looking at a couple of these other ones here, kind of maybe possibly a little bit pitted. You know, worst case scenario, I think, because that one, first one here looks good. This one looks to be a little bit pitted, but that could be just some burnt on oil. But I'll kind of wire wheel it and I'll see if it's pitted, I'll replace it. This one will replace, definitely. Possibility of this one and this one. And even possibly this one. But otherwise, those ones there look not bad. Just this one's really bad. So I'm thinking water got in underneath that washer there with that crack in it. You know, and then sits there and rusts away. But anyway, so yeah, that's where we're looking at that part. And like I said, I'll get the injectors tested. Kind of give it a little bit better chance of surviving. Like, you know, parts aren't exactly cheap. If I won't know until I pull these liners out. If when I pull them out, if the liners aren't cavitated along the water jacket, and where the O-rings sit, if they're not pitted, because I think what could have happened with why the O-ring was leaking, because I said like there was one O-ring above these weep holes for the coolant passage, and there's an O-ring below to keep the oil down. And the reason why it was leaking, because the other ones were left open, they were just dirt in those ones. This one over here has got dirt, but that one's got a stick in it, and that one's got a stick in it. And that's where I found the leak. Yeah, to kind of kick myself in the ass, but it was kind of hidden under a bunch of shielding. It was because it had a loader on and everything. So yeah, I wasn't prepared to look for that. I never had anything to do with these before. And like I said, I don't have a whole bunch of money to spend on this thing, so if I can pull these liners out, and if I can get away with just putting new O-rings on, and even just throwing a set of rings in, and it wouldn't take much to hone out these little bit of tiny scratches. Like I can barely get my nail. It's not big scores or anything. There's a little bit more of a scratch in that one, but I think that's more from a hunk of carbon. But for the most part, no, I won't know until I get it apart. And if it fares out where I can reuse the liners, like I said, I got honing stones, I can give it a quick hone job and just take some of those scratches out. Doesn't need a whole bunch. And then I'll take a look at the rings, whether I'll reuse them or just throw a new set of rings in. You know, they may not have properly, maybe never checked the gap on the rings if this engine's been apart. But just by doing a fingernail hook, because like specs on this protrusion is 1 to 4 thousandths, and I can run my fingernail going outwards, it drops off, but to come in, I can hook my fingernail on it, so that's pretty close to 1 or 2 thousandths, because you got to figure a human hair is only 3 thousandths, so I wouldn't even be surprised. That's probably closer to 2, because the spec is 1 to 4. So it appears to be that good, but I'm just going to clean it up and I got to make myself a dial indicator holder to do my protrusion tests and whatnot. I got another thing for woodworking with a digital readout, but I'd sooner use a dial indicator on it. But I guess we're going to leave you at this for now. I've just got a whole bunch of cleaning to do now. And yeah, even because right now this thing's sitting on number 1 top dead center. If you, let's see if you can see down the hole there. Yeah, because right now, top dead center. Turn it over a little bit. There, so I kind of lined up with that little mark right there to the top dead center. But if you look down inside there, there's a there it is, a little V in a slot. That little V kind of points slightly towards the back, and that slot is angled up about 15 degrees, and that's where your injection pump would line up to when you're putting it together, when you're on top, number 1 top dead center. I figured that out by reading the manual, because it's the first time I've had one of these engines apart. And little big diesel, I've had lots of small block Chevys apart, but nothing like this. So this is all new to me. So I'm going to take a bunch of time here and do a bunch of cleaning, and we'll just kind of call it quits on this here video now, because it's going to get pretty much drawn out anyway. Be getting close to 45 minutes to an hour long anyway. So okay, I'll leave you guys there, and then like I said, I'm going to have to pull the liners. I'm going to have to make myself some little sleeves that can fit in the bottom of the liner, and put a crossbar across here with a chunk of threaded rod to pull the liners out, because I do not have any of those kind of specialty tools, so I'll have to make my own for that. And like I said, I do got a woodworking indicator. It's got a part that I can span the cylinder bore, but it's digital. But I think dial indicator would be better, because you can just sort of drag it along, and you got a better indication to see if they're all the same. So I have to make one of those. That shouldn't take me too terribly long to make. It'd be pretty simple anyway. But anyways, so that's where we're going to leave you guys, and we'll bring you back in the next video. So until then, we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to the channel, and we bring you more on this here whole tractor project. So yep, there's the back end all nicely painted, standing there getting all lonely and dusty, and now we got all this, and I got all the front end pieces. I still got body work to do on it, and get that all painted. So it'll be kind of a drawn out process. There'll be a whole bunch of segments to this series anyway. So anyways, so we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.